So you want to get into Bridge Scrims? God, I hate that video so much. As a goober that spends too much time in this server.
Say nothing if you're gay. Oh wow. Alright, fair enough. Congrats, man.
Men are fucking great, bro.
I think I can help you out. Alright, so we've been over the basics, general knowledge, and the worst strategy to be conceived in this game. PvP and bypassing. How you think you're ready to play with the big boys. And you headed down to the description and clicked this link to join the Bridge Scrims Discord server. So I'm gonna go ahead and help you with that. What is Bridge Scrims? It's just a server to play harder fights to get better at bridge. Well, there's a few ways to queue fights in Bridge Scrims along with multiple options of servers to play on, but more on that later. The first way to queue, which I don't utilize anymore, but I used to a lot back in the day, is the chats. There's 1v1 scrim chat, 2v2 scrim chat, and so on and so forth. You just go in there and either put like the IGN, you can even add the role to get a fight without actually having to physically speak to anybody. VC calls, this is where I'm usually at. There's 1v1 calls where you can queue for 1v1 fights, which is a little awkward because it's just you and that other person. And then obviously 2v2 and so on and so forth. I usually, when I use the VCs, I usually do twos. And then finally, Bridge Scrims has finally made their own Minecraft server, and you can just queue on there. I actually would just recommend this one personally. You can just right-click the wooden sword and queue a 1v1 fight. Yeah, my recommendation would be to, if you want 1v1s, just queue on the server, and if you want 2s, then just use the VCs. There's really no reason to use the chat for 2v2. We can just go on the VCs and wait for it to full up. Speaking of which, servers. So there's Hypixel, of course, Buggy Tour, and now the official Scrim server that is open to the public. And according to Gridlock, so if I look stupid, that's on him, he told me this, isn't being closed for the foreseeable future. I think was his exact words, some shit like that. So when it comes to which server to play on for scrims, I personally would just recommend this their official server. Unless you're an EU player and you want to play up against other EU players, then I would recommend Bucky Tour. Just anything that's not Hypixel. Like, I love Hypixel. It's what got me in the bridge. It's where this all started, and I still play Hypixel. It's just the hits and stuff on there aren't the smoothest, and you know, I don't want to be sweating and having to deal with that. Not to mention, on Hypixel, when you duel, there's no option to pick certain maps, so you have to do this thing that's called cycling, which is just really tedious. As for Bucky Tour and Bridge Scrims, you can pick exact maps, and it's only like the competitive maps on there. Alright, so now you're doing your Bridge Scrims, and you're probably getting shit on. My advice is, you just don't quit. If it's too much, you can go back to Hypixel Q and practice a bit more and then come back. Honestly, I would recommend just playing Hypixel Q and using like the shit you learn from Bridge Scrims, because you can learn a lot. Obviously, there's my channel where I talk about techniques, but people in VC usually point out when you're doing something that's like a glaring issue, at least in like twos, for example. Because if you're getting shit on, it's usually something you're doing that's like glaringly obvious. And don't be discouraged, especially because you're losing to members or whatever, so you think you're bad. It's just members have gotten really good and they play scrims all day. It's not that you're dog shit, it's just that they're better. It's that simple. They're probably going to call you shit though. They are toxic people. Just ignore them. Play the game if you want and, try to get better. All you have to do really is just play a bunch and actively try to get better. That's important. Obviously, if you're just playing and doing the same shit over and over, you're still going to keep losing. So just actively try to get better and practice shit, and you'll get better. You can also ask for help. Some people don't mind helping. I know I don't. Don't harass people though. Alright, if they're not responding to whatever, leave them alone. Don't bother them. Alright, last thing to explain about Bridge Scrims is the hierarchy. At the time of this video being uploaded, they are currently at the lowest tier. We have members, which is literally just anyone that joins the server. The moment you join, you're a member. Next up is Prime, which is where the cool people are at. This is the role right above member, where it's supposed to be better than like the average bridge player, even though nowadays it's just really good players. But Yeah, so it's like you're better than members, but you're not as good as the other roles. Next up, we have privates, where these are the cracked people. This is where the cracked people hang out, like really good bridge players. Honestly, it's mostly the highest rank, which we'll talk about last, but they're just not active because they have the highest role in bridge scrims. You have to be active because that's supposed to be like the cream of the crop. Speaking of which, premium. As I said, this is the cream of the crop of best players, god tier players. And lastly, if you are interested in, if you feel like you're good enough to apply to be prime, because you have to go in order, there's just no skipping. Go to information, click on roles info, and then it has this Discord server link. You click on that bad boy and it'll take you to this place, the Prime Application Hub. So here you would be trying to get what are called vouchers. How it works is they are council members, and they will do little pings letting you know when they're doing duels. You click here on information and you click this bad boy if you want to get pinged. And if you want to hear like the Discord noise, make sure the server isn't muted. If you don't want to hear the noise but just have the ping, then you mute the muted. You can also DM them and ask them to do vouch duels. Just if there's a role, it's literally called don't DM. Don't DM those people. You'll get a bad rep as being annoying. So you can just wait till they ping and then do vouch duels. I will warn you, they mainly do doubles, so you're gonna have to find you a teammate. But they do solos, and they're very hard. My recommendation, if you're watching this video and you're new to the bridge scrims, don't worry about this. I'm just mentioning it just in case. Alright, that is everything. Oh wait, I didn't talk about rules. It is very basic shit. Don't cheat or anything like that. You can read the rules, it's in there, but it's mostly common sense. Don't cheat or anything stupid like that. Yeah, okay, that's it. Go out there and start scrimming and egoing everyone.